Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from October 14th to the 20th, and I'm using this kit from Planning Choco, and it's a printable called Halloween Evening. And no, obviously I'm not using it on Halloween evening. It was actually between this kit and another kit that you will see in a few weeks. The other kit just won out because it's more nostalgic for me. It just reminded me of happier times, so we're using that. But I still wanted to use this, and I want to get as many Halloween-y kits in as possible. So I think we're doing 3 this year. I feel like normally I do 4 or even 5, but I just didn't this year. Crazy. Isn't it crazy? Anyway, I didn't have anything for this week, so I thought it was a good excuse to use this kit. As far as the base goes, very straightforward, same old, same old. The only thing I will say is you can see that this kit comes with so much, and it was really hard for me to narrow down all of the full boxes. I wanted to use most of them, and I really liked, you saw that there's like a few patterned boxes, and I really liked the TVs. So I opted to use the TVs instead of one of the more, I don't know, photographic boxes. You know what I'm saying? Like not photographic, but like scene boxes. I opted for the pattern, and I also ended up cutting up that double box because I really liked it and I really wanted to use it, but I didn't have the space for a double box without doing some sort of magic, and I don't feel like it. So yeah, but that's basically it. Other than that, I'm really happy with how this spread turned out and nothing out of the ordinary. I really like using kits from the shop because they have every single type of label I could ever need, and it's just really fun to plan with everything you need, you know? Now, as far as this week goes, not much happened. The only thing that really happened is over the weekend, I was in Virginia for my boyfriend's aunt's memorial. It was technically his uncle and aunt's memorial, but his uncle passed away during COVID, not of COVID, but obviously nothing could be held for him then. And his aunt passed away in July, and finally the family wanted to get together and honor them, whatever. So it was this weekend. It was a memorial barbecue. Interesting. It was nice, though. It was more lighthearted. It wasn't, doom and gloom. Everybody wasn't in black. It was nice. However, it was just a lot because I didn't have a spare moment this weekend, and coming into a new week with not having gotten anything done all weekend, it's very stressful for someone like me. I'm not go with the flow, if you couldn't tell by now. So that was the only thing, but I'm glad I went with him. It was good to see everybody, and some of it was fun. I will say that on the way to the memorial, we had his niece and nephew in the car because they always want Joe to drive them wherever everybody's going. We got a flat tire, and they were actually fine. Fortunately, I always have candy in my purse, so I just gave them each a lollipop to sort of distract them from the boredom, but they were good. And I mean, Joe knows how to change a flat tire. It was just a shame because he was like all dressed up, and also we were on the side of the highway and everybody's going 70 miles an hour. Luckily it wasn't a ton of cars, but still it's kind of freaky when you're with somebody else's kids, but I think that's all that really happened this week. Did anything else happen? Oh, one thing that was weird. I think Brad almost peed on my duffel bag when I came back home on Sunday. Joe dropped me off at my apartment, and I did not feel like packing. I wanted to do it in the morning, but Brad was sniffing around my duffel bag, and then he squatted down on my carpet in front of the duffel bag, and I freaked out. Because when my roommate finally moved back in permanently, she brought a trash bag of clothing with her, and it smelled like her mom's dog. And Brad immediately stood on the bag of clothing and peed on it. And so I was just very concerned because Joe's aunt, we stayed at his aunt's house, his deceased aunt's house, because they hadn't sold it yet. She used to have cats, and so I was just very nervous that Brad was feeling territorial and he was going to pee all over my stuff. He's never done that before, and Joe has a cat, and when Joe comes over, he doesn't pee on Joe's stuff, but I'm thinking he might just be used to that cat smell because it's been around since he was a baby. I don't know. I just didn't want to take any chances, and the only time he's ever peed on anybody's stuff was when my roommate came home Maybe he was just mad at her for abandoning him because he's technically her cat. Janet is my cat. Brad is her cat. So maybe that was what it was, but I didn't want to take any chances. So anyway, that was a little weird. But other than that, I don't think much happened. So let's just get into the day by day, starting with Monday. The first thing I marked was that it was a very lazy morning. I'm not going to lie. I was not the best employee that morning. I was just way too tired to function. So I did the bare minimum, marked that with a pillow from the kit. With a Sticky Perks laundry basket, I marked that I did my laundry. With an envelope from the kit, I marked that I went to the post office to mail my ballot. Then with the Stick with the Plan Co. girl, I marked that I prepped fruit and eggs for my lunch. Then with this Fox and Cactus sneaker, I marked that I did 10,000 steps, half on my break. And, excuse me, I just ate. God, I actually already did this voiceover, but it didn't save. So here we are. I may have to burp, I'm sorry. Anyway, I did half during my break, half after work. Then with this Stick with the Plan Co. squishy looking thing, I marked that I pulled. Then with this coffee cup from the kit, I marked that I had some hot cocoa. Then with this camera from, I think it's Erica G Designs. I don't know if that's even a shop anymore. I marked that I filmed. Then with this Carly Plans like movie sticker, this Halloween sticker, I marked that I watched the movie called Your Name is Justine, and I'm a little concerned. I haven't had too much issue with any of her. I haven't had any issue with any of the stickers I just purchased from Carly Plans, but it looks like this straw is starting to come off. I don't know. I have bad luck with her black ink just sort of like rubbing off the stickers, but I think it's okay. It might just be a misprint. Anyway, the movie, I don't know if I would say I recommend it. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was short, and it's basically just a very like realistic look at being sex trafficked. It's not super graphic or anything like that, but you just follow this girl, and it's really sad. I won't spoil it in case you do want to watch it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked was that I was up at 7 a.m. and this clock from Prairie Planner says 6, but that's fine. I don't think there are any other numbers to choose from. And this was worth marking because ever since I had to go back, ever since they made me go to 3 days a week in office, I have struggled to wake up and get to the office. And before that, when I only had to go in 1 day a week, I was there before 8 every single time because it was just so much easier to handle, because not only was I getting more sleep all the other days of the week, but when you know it's only once, it's much easier to get it over with. But anyway, I'm trying to work on that because I just don't want to be there late. So anyway, I was able to get up at 7 this morning. I really need to be up by like 6:45, 6:50 if I don't care about looking decent. 6:45 if we want to look a little better. So we're getting there. Then with this rabbit hole handcraft sticker, I marked that I kept forgetting everything. And when I say that, I had my shoes on, I locked the door, I put the keys in my backpack, and then realized I didn't have my phone. So I went in, took my shoes off, yada yada, unlocked the door, got my phone. Then I realized I didn't have my water bottle. I had to do the same thing over again. I was realizing all of these stupid fucking things after I already locked the door and left. So that ended up adding like 5 minutes to my morning because I forgot 3 things. I can't remember what the third thing was, but I had to go back in 3 times. Obnoxious. Then with this Fox and Cactus sticker, I marked that I was busy, but it was like a semi-good busy. I made 0 calls. I just mostly had admin work to do, which is preferred. I don't want to make calls. And then with this Fox and Cactus squish, I marked that I was in a bad mood because even though I didn't really interact with anybody at work, the walk home from the office is just so overstimulating for me, between like the bad smells, the people yelling, all of the people like in my way, all the dog shit, all the beeping of the horns, and just all the noises. I'm just so overstimulated by the time I get home. I'm just so angry and annoyed. And it just takes me a minute to decompress after being out in the world. And that's why I started doing the litter in the mornings. I don't care how late I'm running, I'm doing it in the morning, because the second I'm home, I am not going back outside. I'm not doing it. I hate it out there. And also the fact that I had to do a workout, it also makes me upset because I hate working out. So, but anyway, I did it. I did a lower body workout and I marked that with weights from the kit. And then once my workout was over, I was in a better mood. Then with this emoji, I marked painting with my roommate. We finished up the paintings for her office at work. With another camera, I marked that I filmed. And then with this ghost from, I think Rabbit Hole Handcraft, I marked that I ordered the bits for my costume. And it was a little more of a process because the first place I wanted to get them had free shipping. They wouldn't come in time. The second place was the lowest price, but that wouldn't come for like a month. So I couldn't order it from there. And I ended up having to get it from Amazon. It wasn't expensive, but it was still double the price of the other websites. But, it's my fault for waiting so long. Then with this book from Rabbit Hole Handcraft, I marked that I read, and that was it. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked with this Once More with Love sticker was that I got to the office at 8:02, which is pretty good. Definitely better than 8:20. With this emoji drinking tea, I marked that I made myself green tea. I hate green tea, but I've been trying to drink it every day just for digestive purposes. And that also means I think it's better if you drink it warm, if that's your goal, if you know what I mean. So it's just nasty and you can't chug it because it's too hot. Then with this annoyed Rabbit Hole Handcraft head, I marked that I spilled tea all over myself, like half of it, just all over me. The lid wasn't on all the way, and I went to take a sip and it just dumped in my lap. And I was wearing very light blue denim. Fortunately, it didn't stain. And I luckily have a space heater in my office, so I just sort of pointed the space heater everywhere that I needed to dry. Then with a Prairie Planner microphone, I marked that I did a voiceover. And then the last thing for Wednesday, with this big Papershire cat sticker, I marked that I relaxed with the cats. And I have no idea what we did. I have no idea. Probably looked at my phone. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was that my hair was still wet in the morning. And this is annoying because I didn't exactly allot any time for blow drying my hair. This is the first time this year where I've woken up and my hair was not completely dry. And I showered on Wednesday at like 6 p.m. So a little obnoxious, but I did have to blow dry my hair because it was cold this week. So that wouldn't have been great. With a pumpkin paper Kotera, I marked that I was in office. With this emoji, I marked that I edited at work. Sneaky, sneaky. And then with these weights from the printable shop, with the name I can never remember, I marked that I did a chest workout. With a Papershire planner, this I believe is from a Halloween variety sheet from maybe last year or 2 years ago. I marked that it was time to plan. I wrote it's my plan time because at first I just wrote plan and it looked very off-center, and so I just filled the space with stupid words. Anyway, I planned. Then with this Carly Plans YouTube sticker, I marked that I watched YouTube in bed, and that was it for Thursday. Moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that I took a shower in the morning, and I used this adorable sticker I have had forever. I don't know what shop it's from. I think it was on a freebie or in a kit or something, but I loved it, and I never used it because I don't take baths. But looking closer, yes, the bathtub is full, but the shower head is going. So it works, Then with this disappointed looking munchkin, I marked that I miscalculated my overtime. I was supposed to leave at 2 on Friday because we needed to get to Virginia as early as possible. I thought I was able to start work at 8:30 and leave at 2. I needed to start at 8 if I wanted to leave at 2. So I ended up having to stay until 2:27 because I have to hit my 40 hours exactly. I can't go a minute under. It's annoying. So that was frustrating. That it ended up being okay though, because I was able to be completely ready by 2:45, and I think Joe didn't even come to pick me up until 3:15 or something, so it was okay. With Carly Plans suitcase, I marked that I panic packed because I needed to sort of do it between work tasks because I didn't have time on my break to do it. Then with this Sticky Perks Road and Prairie Planner car, I marked that Joe came to pick me up and we drove to Virginia. With this Constipated Squish, I marked that I almost peed my pants. You know when that happens, when you're on a road trip and there's no bathroom in sight, and then all of a sudden all the tea and water you drank all day just gushes into your bladder all at once. It was like that. He pulled up into a Wawa, but it wasn't a gas station. It was just the convenience store. And back in my day, if it was just a convenience store, they didn't have a public restroom. Fortunately, now they do, but I had to go so badly I couldn't really walk, so I made him go in to double check, because if there was no bathroom in there, I was not getting up. But I made it. I did not pee my pants. Then moving on with this Once More with Love munchkin, I marked that we got Chinese. It wasn't the best, and I wasn't exactly thrilled about it because we had just had Panda Express twice, like not too long ago. So I ended up getting dumplings just to have something different. Huge mistake. I regret it, but this is why I always get an egg roll, because in case my food is nasty, I at least have that. So that was okay, but it just wasn't. I didn't eat the best this weekend. Let's just say that. Then with this Once More with Love sticker, I marked playing with Joe's niece, and I'm very sad to say that she is officially in the phase, my least favorite phase that any child has, which is pretend play. I do not pretend play. I do not make dolls talk. I do not. It's one of my hard limits. Like it's a no. Boundaries set. When I nannied, I never did it. I refused. Absolutely not. I do not play pretend. I did with her because I adore her and I will do whatever she wants, but we are going to have to like ease out of that because I can't do it again. I did it because I hadn't seen her in a while, but I think the next time I see her, I'm going to distract her away from that and be like, oh, let's color or something. Like, let's not do that because I can't. It actually like makes me so upset. I hate pretend play. Anyway, the final thing for Friday was, so just to be clear, the house had been basically abandoned since Joe's aunt passed in July, so there were some cockroaches in the house. The house is very clean, but again, you know, shit happens. All her food was still in the house and stuff. So Joe's sister was vacuuming. She had vacuumed every room already, but she was vacuuming the kitchen again because she didn't want to leave any crumbs for the roaches. And she hit the, what is it called? The fridge with the vacuum, and this giant cockroach ran out from underneath. It was terrifying. It was so funny. She gave Joe like a little handkerchief to kill it with, and he is not as afraid as I am, but he doesn't like bugs. Fortunately, his brother-in-law came in and just like whacked it and cleaned it up for us. Anyway, I used a rabbit hole handcraft girl for that. Moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was that I had a terrible headache. It actually woke me up, and it didn't go away until 5 p.m. It was awful. I did take something for it. It didn't work. I took some more at the party. I think eventually that worked. But I used another rabbit hole handcraft head for that. With this Prairie Planner sticker, I marked getting ready. With a Design Ski sticker Red Bull can, I marked having Red Bull. Joe's brother-in-law actually brought an entire case of sugar-free Red Bull, which was very nice of him. He told me ahead of time, don't bring any Red Bull. Then with this Prairie Planner tire, I marked that Joe got his flat tire. Then with this Once More with Love munchkin, I marked the memorial. And then with this lady from, it's a Once More with Love sticker, but from the Titanic, I marked that there were so many old people. And I'm not saying that old people are bad. Like, obviously, I hang out with my grandma all the time. I lived with my grandma. But when you meet a bunch of like 80 and 90-year-olds in Virginia, you have no idea how conservative they are. You have no idea if they're against cursing. I can't be myself. I'm depressed. I curse. I'm an atheist. I'm a Democrat. Like, I am not the most palatable person to a lot of old people. So I have to like be on guard. I never know what I can say, and it's exhausting, and my head was pounding. So it was awful. I did find one old lady, she was 90, and she said she used to love gambling in Atlantic City. And I was like, okay, I can work with this. I can work with you. But it's so sad. Like, a lot of them can barely talk. Ugh, it's a shame. Anyway, then with this, I think this is a Carly Plan sticker. I marked that my head still hurt, but then finally it stopped. Finally it stopped right as all the old people were gone, and it was time to have a little bit of fun. So I used these emojis, gossiping and having tea, to mark that I had a couple drinks and gossiped. Then I thought this was clever. I covered up the larger munchkin with these Sticky Perks, or no, Carly Plans French fries, I think. We took Joe's nephew to get Wendy's after we left the memorial. The food wasn't amazing, I'm not gonna lie. They got it catered and it just was not my thing. And then the final thing for Saturday, with this Rabbit Hole Handcraft Halloween sticker, I marked that I was exhausted. Moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked, and I was kind of happy about this, not gonna lie, we had to rush to pack and leave. And I was ecstatic because we ended up leaving at 11:58, and I wanted to leave by noon. And had Joe's cousins not sort of been like rushing us to get out of the house so they could lock up, I probably wouldn't have gotten home until midnight. But unfortunately, they were clearly in a hurry to get on with their day and they needed us to leave. And so everybody was running around getting all the things that they wanted to keep, because that's the other thing. They were donating everything left in her house. So Joe's entire family was like grabbing pictures and, things that they wanted to keep. And his car was completely full of stuff between his luggage and mine and all of the stuff he took from his aunt's house. It was a mess. And he was distraught because he does not rush. He does not like to be rushed. He does not rush people. And so he was like devastated for a couple hours. He was not okay, but I was thrilled. I was thrilled. We never leave when I want to, so it was amazing. Then I feel bad saying that, but I'm just telling you guys. Anyway, with this Prairie Planner sticker, I marked that we went to get a tire, and it ended up not being that big of a deal. He found a used tire place. They were nice. They put it on really quickly. They did charge him for disposal, which is annoying because he took his tire with him. They didn't dispose of it, but it's fine, whatever. But yeah, it was a much smaller deal than I thought it was going to be. Then with this Once More with Love sticker, I marked stopping to see Joe's best friend. With this sticker from the kit, I marked going to Aldi. Then with this I don't care sticker from Fox and Cactus, I marked that I got home at 9:30, but I was already mentally prepared for that. Like, I knew that was going to happen. Like, I wasn't thrilled about not getting home till 9:30, but I knew in my head, like, even before Friday, I was like, I'm going to get home at 11 p.m. I'm going to get home at 10 p.m., something disgusting like that. So I was ready for it. Then I was still in a bad mood, though, because I'm an introvert and I need a lot of alone time. So not having any this weekend was a little hard, but whatever. Life is life, right? Then with this panic cleaning squish, I marked that I speed cleaned because when I got home, the litter smelled, and my roommate had just taken it out, but she forgot to wipe the inside and there was like pee on the walls, so I cleaned the litter box. Then there were a couple other things that I just like wasn't comfortable with, and I can't relax until things are at an acceptable level of cleanliness for me. So unfortunately I had to clean and I just wanted to get it over with. Then I think Brad almost peed on my stuff. I used a Carly Plans cat for that. These are my favorite stickers ever. With this leftover SPC deco, I marked unpacking. And then the final thing on Sunday was that I watched YouTube in bed far too late. And I think I might have only mentioned this in my last voiceover, but with the cleaning and unpacking and getting ready for bed, I wasn't in bed until 11. So yeah, it was a lot, but anyway, for the most part, it was good. I'm glad I went. It was good to see Joe's family. A lot of them I haven't seen in like 5 years. And some of his extended family I really, really like. So that was a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.